Good morning. It's Thursday, and what a wonderful day it is. It is amazing at the response I've been able to receive from doing these podcasts and this video. So thank you so much for sharing it and commenting. Today, as you can tell, I need to shave, but that's okay. All right, I want to get right into it because I want to respond to an email that I received where it's an individual who's struggling with addiction. And this individual, he was talking about how, he's been 12 months sober now, and he hasn't arrived yet. So I asked him, I said, what does that mean? What does arrived mean? And I responded, I said, I think you've arrived a lot of places. Arrival it's really not a destination, especially when you have a struggle. It's a concept. It's a mental shift. And he was talking about where his addiction, his desire for the habit or the negative behavior was completely gone. And I responded to that saying, you can't look at it that way. You got to look at the destinations that you've made on the way, where you have arrived. You arrived at 1 month sobriety, 2 months sobriety, 3, 4, 5. He's been over a year of sobriety now, and doesn't feel like he's arrived. So that whole concept of arrived, what does that mean? Now I want to address this a little bit more in the sense of, when you look at it from a mental standpoint, he's done fantastic. Amazing. Even from a physical standpoint, if you talk to a lot of people who are struggling with an addiction, they would be like, wow, I wish I could do that. It is so imperative that we focus on our successes and not our failures. That we focus on what we have done, what we have accomplished, and not what we haven't. Yeah, of course we have our goals. Of course we have those things that motivate us and push us and help us to go to that next level. But we've got to focus on the positive of where we're at, where we've come from. I mean, this individual there's several individuals that I know who have gone through one of our programs, and they have been struggling with pornography addiction. And they have been sober now for over several years. But because that feeling or that desire to look at porn is not gone, they feel like they haven't arrived. They haven't gotten rid of it, so therefore they're still this bad person. How could they? And it has nothing to do with that. It is just like any other struggle. If you have a struggle, you know what I'm talking about. It's a struggle. A struggle is a struggle is a struggle. There's no differing and saying your struggle is worse than my struggle. No. The point we need to focus on is what we have accomplished. I talked with a young lady the other day who struggling with weight. And she talks about how she keeps setting these goals and she's never achieving them. Her health for this or that, there's always an excuse. And she says, I've never been able to get back to the weight I want to be. Okay, let's stop worrying about weight. How about just become healthy? How about just stepping up and being that healthy person so that weight doesn't matter? If you weigh 300 pounds, but you are in good physical health, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, then who cares? Don't worry about weight. Worry about just being healthy. Worry about just being the best person you can be as you are right now. You're amazing. Realize that. I want to go through an exercise here. That's why I've kind of got this little prop here of one way to help get ourselves to realize our amazing status. So I'm gonna kind of turn here. You might see the back of my head, a little bald spot. My kids call my peach fuzz. Anyways, I want to go through this exercise that has helped so many people, and also it's helped me. I used it just the other day. I'm kind of frustrated with something that's going on in my life right now, and I went through this exercise, and it actually just kind of makes it better. It's amazing how powerful this exercise is. So if you're listening to this on podcast, I would encourage you to go watch the video. You can link to it from on our blog, which is TonyRhoton.com, which is TonyRhoton.com, and you'll be able to watch the video there so you can see a visual, or I'll try to explain it the best way I can. But the importance of this exercise is vital. I literally say it's vital because it can make the difference of where you're at now to where you want to be. So let's just this is my large piece of paper here. Okay. And I don't have a something to prop it against. Maybe pull that over here. Okay, now I've got something to prop it against. Okay. I want you to take a piece of paper. Here's my piece of paper, okay? Now, on your piece of paper, I want you to fold that in half. So you're going to fold it right in half vertically here. Now, after you fold this vertically, obviously, then it's going to, I've talked about this a little bit before. Let me just grab a sheet here so it's going to be folded something like this. Obviously, this is not a full 8.5 by 11 piece of paper, but it's going to be folded something like this. When you unfold it, you're going to have that crease down the center. Okay. Then over here, on this side, I want you to write negative. And then on this side, I want you to write positive. Okay. Now, the reason I want you to do this is because we're going to be writing down all of those negative feelings that we have. Now, those negative feelings could be anything from like, I hate my job, I'm no good at anything. They could be the mental challenges we have going on in our head, that I'm not a good father, I'm not a good mother, I'm not a good, whatever. They could be a physical challenge is, I'm not strong enough to do anything. I lack motivation. Whatever it is that mentally is going on in your head that's negative, and we're going to write that down. So I'm just going to write a few of those. I said, I am not a good father. And then I'm going to write also down the other negatives. So I'm going to make my list of negative thoughts that are going on in my head, and I'm going to, now this is where the magic comes in. We're going to reframe that or rewrite that negative thought. So here it is. I am not a good father. I'm going to reframe that or rewrite that. I want to reprogram that in my brain. So I say the exact opposite, and you say, I am a good father. But now we're going to take that and we're going to push it even a little bit more. We're going to make this even better. Now I want you to add on top of that an additional thing you like about yourself, a physical characteristic you like about yourself. And it could be very, as minuscule as you want. The fact that I have blue eye, I like my eyes. So I'm going to say, I am a good father and I'm handsome. I know this is true because my wife tells me all the time. So so you want to write the positive. So here's our negative. I am not a good father. We rewrite it. We reframe that phrase. I am a good father and I'm handsome. So a positive characteristic. It could be, and I read good, and I have blue eyes, and I am sexy. Whatever it is that you want to do. Then you go down to your next one. your next negative thought. So let's just say that next negative thought is, I can't. Let's see. I'm trying to reframe something. Okay, I am dumb. Okay, I am dumb. Now we're going to rephrase that. We want to rewrite that to be a positive statement, which is, I am smart. And then again, add that clarifier, add that punch, which is, and I love my hair. What little bit I got, I love it. Okay, and I love my hair. Now this does not have to make sense. It does not have to be like a sentence that flows. It could be, I am smart and I like my arm. You know, it doesn't have to flow. It's just a positive characteristic about yourself. So negative, reframe it, rewrite it to be a positive in the exact opposite. That's the key here. You want it to be the exact opposite of what the negative thought is. So I am not a good father. I am a good father. And then again, we want to add that punch. And I'm handsome. Go then to the next one. So you're going to go through, you're going to write all these negative thoughts that you have. Now, you could start out with just a few. I don't necessarily suggest writing a full page, because then it can be kind of daunting. But at the same time, I say do it. Do it, because if you do it, then you'll realize all these negative thoughts that are going on in your head. And then we can start to reframe those. We can start to rewire your brain to feel a much more positive attitude. So let's go through this exercise. You go through, write down all the negative. Then on the right-hand side, you write all the positive with the clarifying statement. So the exact opposite of the negative with the attribute that's about yourself, a positive attribute about yourself. Then I want you to take, and this is the best part of the whole thing. You're going to take and you're going to rip that page just right down the center, just like you did that fold. You're going to rip it. The one that was on the right-hand side, it's your left-hand side, sorry, I'm getting confused. The negative one, you want to shred it, get rid of it, destroy it, burn it, whatever you want to do, but you want to get rid of those thoughts. It's a physical action saying, I am no longer these things. And you get rid of it and you toss it away. Get rid of it, throw it in the trash. Nobody else needs to see this. This is all for you. So you get rid of it. Then that part, so I've got to grab my eraser here. So this part has been, my negative has now been shredded, gotten rid of, destroyed, annihilated. Now, here's the magic. You take that part, the positive part that you have written, those are things that you've been reframed, and you read that every morning and every night. As soon as you wake up, you read that. As soon as you go to bed, you read that. So, or right before you go to bed. Read that over and over again. And then do the exercise again once you start doing this. I find that sometimes I have to rewrite the same thing. Sometimes it's completely different. But when you have those negative thoughts, do this exercise. Write it down. Break it. You have your negative, reframe it, reframe it, and rewrite it in the brain so that it is the proper thought, which is, you are amazing. I hope this exercise helps you as much as it's helped me and thousands of other people. This is an exercise I learned from a man named Kirk Duncan, and I kind of put a little twist on it, a few things here and there, but the concept is solid. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you try it. It's not going to hurt. And this exercise can be literally the life changer for you. Have a wonderful day. I know this one went a little longer, but I wanted to give you some actual, actionable steps. Something you can do and start doing right now. Have a good one and make it a great day. Rise up to the challenge. You are amazing.